Okay. Today's character question to get us warmed up is, does your character have any long-term investments or plans for the future? I will say, I feel like characters in this setting are more likely to have that than characters in D&D were, where everyone's pretty much just expecting to die of dysentery sometime in the next month.
I think Roy's long-term plans are to figure out what exactly is the root of his origin and to try to extend what he believes is a limited lifetime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Roy's long-term plans is to be dead in 6 years.
Yeah, and he really doesn't want that to happen. It's like, it's not like a fear, it's more like of a revulsion, like just a disgust.
Yeah, that would be pretty bogus. Let's see. Morgan, I haven't heard from you yet. Ruta, what do you think Ruta's plans for the future are? Do you think he has any investments? Do you think he has like a 401k going?
I think his father left him something like a trust or something. Like a space trust.
There's only one kind of games that Ruta cares about.
His long-term plans are probably all but and so.
Hey, so I was able to catch a lot of that by context, but you're cutting in and out pretty sharply.
Oh.
Yeah.
It might be my internet. Can you hear me now?
I heard
Same
that.
diff.
Talk a little more.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, I heard blah 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 blah.
I heard all three blahs.
Yeah, you were coming in and out. And it was a little low on my end.
Yeah. Let's start with can you repeat Can you just repeat what you said about his investments?
Yeah, I was saying his father left him a trust.
Mm-hmm.
That's much more clear.
His investments are in space weed and killing.
Space weed.
Okay.
Wait, so Ruta's the coolest and the richest?
That seems very valid.
Ruta got in on the
My dad owns a dealership.
Oh my god!
So are you literally like the dude from Aqua Teen Hunger Force whose father was like
That's exactly
owned a car dealership?
Okay.
Wow. Good job,
Okay.
Morgan.
Morgan, you came through perfectly clear that time, so that was good.
Internet.
Yeah, we got all that.
Yep. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Yeah.
I would think that Mate's long-term plans are to find out how all of those de-addressed memories that are existing in their database got that way, and is trying to find some way to clean up that corruption.
They know what their origins are, correct? Like, they know what their species is?
But they want to know what
just wanted
those
to
memories are. Yeah, they absolutely know.
Okay.
They just don't know how
Cool.
to access that.
Cool. Let's see. Aveline? I feel like Aveline has some kind of plan for the future, some kind of, like, something she's doing.
I would say yes and no. Aveline is very, like, she wants to, like, do things that would make her feel better about things that have happened in her past, but I also feel like she's a very sporadic person, so lots of times she can get very distracted, like, I'm just gonna play space pinball for 6 months, why not? And I feel like she's very unsure in what she wants to accomplish in the future, and she's embarrassed by the things that regularly come to mind, so she's very guarded about it. Like, probably one of the biggest things she wants to do is figure out what the fuck happened with Nox, but mentioning that makes her feel like lame.
Hey, she knows where Nox is, right?
No, she knows where he is. Like, she can find him at pretty much any time. She just wants to know why things went down the way they did.
Alright, let's see. Have I heard from,
Not me or Bluffin. I can go.
yeah.
I think that Amel's long-term plan is collecting Nova lore. So just like learning about the Nova. He also wants to like collect like specimen of like rare plants and stuff like that to bring back to the Nova, to like the new Nova homeworld, so we can like expand the biodiversity of the planet and like, you know, do stuff like that. And he also just wants to like find and chat with Nova. Not really a super huge agenda, but just like, hey Nova, what up?
That's very cool. He's trying to recruit people to their colony and or revolution, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, good.
How far and few between are other Nova? Like, is it a rarity to see like 5 Nova in one place?
I think only Brent.
Yes. So, Nova are fairly common. You would see a normal person living in a normal city in the Terran Empire or in the Conclave, or probably in like any faction. Actually, they're pretty just like widespread, is likely to run into a Nova like once a week. I've been thinking of the Nova very similar to how you see like halflings in a lot of D&D based lore, where they're kind of just all over the place, but there aren't any like halfling kingdoms.
Okay.
You don't really often have like Nova worlds or Nova governments. Most Nova just kind of like, they have adventurous spirits, and so they like to just kind of like roam around. The other thing is that Nova tend to be exceptionally good with mechanics for some reason. They just have a really good head for it. And so you often find Nova working in like engineering stations or for design firms and stuff like that.
The side note to that, the planet that I'm from is kind of in some ways the first true Nova kingdom, and it just got that way because it's pretty much inhospitable to like all other forms of life except Nova.
Yep, I like that.
When Nova are doing repair projects, can they function as their own blowtorch?
They can now.
So Nova bodies don't actually produce I was going to say they don't produce, because they're not made of fire.
Don't kill this vibe, bro.
No. So here's the thing: they're not made of fire. They're definitely like juicy, goopy things that you can touch. Here's the fun question, and I will leave this up to Kevin. Do you think that Nova are the temperature of like room temperature water, or do you think that they rest at like 110 degrees? I feel like it's one or the other.
I feel like they rest at 110 degrees. Yeah.
Okay, now to be clear, we're saying 110 degrees American temperature, not 110 degrees Kevin temperature, which I'm well aware is melting through the floors. Mm-hmm. Probably not. Who have I not heard from? Blovin.
You'll have to repeat the question because I missed it.
Oh, okay. The question was, does your character have any long-term investments or plans for the future?
I feel like Blovin's overall plan is for peace and prosperity to as many people as he can possibly bring that to.
Does he have any assets or anything that he is any like long-term projects that he's working on to help with that he's expecting to see payoff in not in the next few weeks but maybe in months or years down the road?
Well, honestly, I think our group is one of the examples of the most concrete kind of investment that he would have, and that he's trying to bring together a group of adventurers to serve in these humanitarian efforts. And hopefully that even if he were to die or something, that, these projects would continue on in spite of that even. So
Can I make a proposal that I think feels on brand for Plovin?
yeah, go ahead.
I think that to that end, one investment or project, if you want to call it that, is I feel like Blovin has not a spy network, but just a network.
like little birds, like Varys or something.
Yeah, he just has a network of like-minded people that he keeps in touch with.
Yeah.
I think that's part of that's one of his long-term projects is just growing that network. When he goes somewhere, if he meets somebody that seems like they could be an asset to him, he gets their number.
I like to think that he has a little Rolodex, like an old school little thing that you flip around.
Yes, absolutely, yes. I like that. Okay. All right, so we're all awake, hopefully. So, F11. I just made the realization that I can do F11 to full screen Roll20 and get an extra probably 10% of screen real estate. And this is beautiful. This is magnificent.
Yeah, it's great when you have it like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys ended the last game. You had rescued Professor Mel Pooty and all of the students. You killed some demons who all kind of just dissolved away into goop. And Lovin didn't remove the memories of the students, but he removed the he removed their memories but left them with the knowledge of what had happened. So they know that it happened, but they don't remember it happening. It's more like they were told that this thing happened. Okay. And I think that we should, now that all that is done and you guys have the students and stuff, I think it would be a good idea to, since Mel Pooty is currently unconscious, I think it would be a good idea for we'll say that the captain recommends this. It's a good idea for the group to just kind of rest a little bit and everyone catch their breath and get control of the situation while they wait for Mel to wake up. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Cool. That. And does anybody have any? Let me confirm. Is that not gonna work? No. Can you guys hear snoring?
What?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry. My dog is unconscious and just absolutely sawing logs, and his head is about a foot away from the microphone. So.
No, it's doing a good job. It's not coming through.
Cool. Okay. Jeff, I don't hear you right now. Okay. So, with a short rest, everybody gets all of their physical stress back. Oh, Lovin says stop.
Or he says stoop.
Dope. Dope. Wait, I? We can't hear him.
I tried to. Both his microphone and fingers have suffered.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Hello, 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 hello,
Yeah,
hello.
I can hear you.
Ooh,
Hey,
there
hey.
we go. Hey, what's up?
Oh, good grief! Why is it just going in and out like that? That's so confusing. I have no frame of reference for why I just stopped coming through at all. Okay, so you can hear me, correct?
Yes,
I can
yes.
hear you now. I will go
Okay.
ahead and say, when you were talking just now, I heard some,
Crackling a little bit.
crackling.
Popping.
It didn't sound like
Yeah.
a bad connection. It sounded like maybe the wire on your microphone has a bad connection, which might explain why you weren't able to talk for a little bit there.
There is no microphone, so the wire is perfectly severed. Okay, well we'll just
I
roll
can
with
hear
it.
you clearly now.
Okay, great. Not gonna with it that lasts for the next 20 seconds. So what I'd like to turn to my friend Aveline and ask if she could, peek it behind her third eye or whatever, and tell us if the corruption is still as visible as it was.
Ooh, yes. What is the corruption looking like in here?
Okay, so, So the demons have all left, and with the demons gone, the corruption is starting to fade a little bit. But I think it's kind of like you can think of the demons as like a hot burner on a skillet, and the corruption as like a frying pan. You can take the burner away, but the frying pan's still going to be hot for a while. The corruption's just going to need some time to finish dispersing, but it as long as no other demons come back, which would be unusual, like usually that wouldn't be the case. The corruption will fade on its own in a day or two, maybe.
Good.
So, is there any reason why it's really bad to like take a small rest while you were sort of surrounded by corruption? I
It's
guess that's
okay
more of
to-
like a, I don't know,
It's okay to
based on
rest.
whatever my character knows. I mean,
Yeah, it's okay to rest here. If you tried to sleep here, you would probably get some shitty dreams. But you're probably fine to just sit here and catch your breath. Yeah.
okay.
Take it a
Is there
short
any
rest.
nearby source of water?
Yes, I'm going to retcon a little bit and say do you guys remember that open field outside of where you killed those spider things?
Mhm.
I'm gonna say that open field has a small, like, a pool in it. Not quite a pond, but like maybe 5 to 10 feet across, kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to suggest that if we do take a brief rest, that we can go up to that area so that I can rest in water because I'm a fish.
Oh, yes. I think that's a good idea. Oh, does Jeff still fear the sunlight, though?
I can just put an
Sorry?
umbrella or something up. You know, a rudimentary one, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a good idea. Okay.
That also probably means I fear you particularly.
I shouldn't get, like, more than, 3 feet away. Closer than 3
Yeah.
feet.
Hopefully I've forgotten that I have a glowing pinky in my pocket.
Oh God.
No, I asked for that one back. Okay, so I
I
think I should
didn't give it to
probably...
you back. You asked, it didn't get returned.
Can I have my pinky back?
No. It's fine. Be more careful who you give your pinky to next time.
I'm gonna be like, look, you can keep my pinky, but you're gonna have another Amul in like 5 to 10 business days.
And you are legally its parent at that point.
Yeah, you have to care for it at that point.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
gonna explain. Yeah, actually, like, they're very Nova are basically Wolverine. They can regenerate from like any part of their body that they lose. So Nova have a practice of like cutting off like tiny little appendages if they're worried they're going to like die or get obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I sort of want from every character that we're playing with right now, but also in this particular moment, is for our characters to be exchanging this information. Because I feel like there's this dual wavelength that I'm getting crossed in where I know certain things about certain characters,
No.
but
Amul was
I don't
just,
think my character
Amul
knows
was
anything about
telling
anybody.
Blovin that. Amul's
Okay.
like, hey, Blovin, you're gonna
So-
have another Amul if you leave
So
that.
why did you give it to me though?
Oh, I was worried I was gonna get consumed by demons.
Oh, well, that's fair. Do you want it back?
Yes.
Okay, now that I understand your justification, I will give it back to you.
Okay. Cool. So everybody goes and rests by the pool for a little bit. Everybody who needs liquids consumes some, and then Blovin takes like a bath because Blovin needs to in order to not die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just imagine
some
like
passes.
if you've ever seen Looney Tunes where like Bugs Bunny or whatever is like doing like one of those la di da di da, you know, with a little shower cap on and like spilling little cups of water on Bugs Bunny's self. That's what basically I look like.
Okay, that's very, very good. Okay, Professor Pooty has woken up and is clearing her head, and so I think that there is like a kind of a face journey that happens. You know a face journey when somebody just makes a lot of expressions. Where Mel Pooty kind of realizes that she is herself again, and then remembers everything that happened, and then processes that for a bit, and then very quickly she jumps up and starts running back to the room that you guys found her in. Do you guys do anything?
I would like to follow,
Like to follow as well.
Yeah, Rudy going after.
but I'm not stopping her.
Okay.
Roy narrows his eyes and walks slowly.
Okay. So you guys follow her down into the room that you fought that encounter in, and then you see her she sprints to the door on the far end of the hall over here. And starts opening the door, and you guys probably have a chance to catch up with her as she is doing so. Do you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm like calling for her. Hey, what are you doing?
Okay, she's gonna stop just long enough to shake her head and say, "Sorry, there's something very important in there. I have to get it." And
Just brought out 4
doing it.
demons. You better tell us what's going on.
Okay. Fine. Then she's gonna stop and catch her breath, and she says, "Okay, I don't know what happened over the past month, but I do know that I finished a lifetime of research, and that there is something very important in this next room, and I need to go get it."
Maybe we should go first. You just like woke up and you might be like lightheaded.
So you bring demons about.
Doesn't trust her.
Let the quarry lead us to our next target.
Is there a way? I guess Blovin's along too, although I didn't specify that. But can I do a quick level thought check on her?
Okay. She's no longer possessed. And unless you guys like stop her, she's gonna keep moving, but she's alright with you guys being a little bit ahead of her to catch any traps or whatever. So you can do a surface level thought read on her. She is not possessed. She is telling the truth. She doesn't feel like she's lying.
I sort of say it's okay, referring to my comrades.
Oh, okay. You're telling everyone else to chill and let her go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still inclined to follow at a safe distance.
Sure. So she leads you into this other room, up a hall, up some stairs, and then up a circular stairwell, and finally she leads you into this room. So the room that you found her in was like a ritual congregation kind of room, like the kind of room.
Now I'm hearing the snoring.
You hear the snoring?
Yep.
Is that the rumbling from the tomb?
Yeah. So you so the room that you found her in was kind of like a church chapel. I think that's what it's called. The place where like the congregation would meet. This room is more like a reliquary. It actually looks like there was at one point a very large and sophisticated lock keeping this door sealed shut, and that lock has been blowtorched open like the boulder into the temple had been. And she runs inside. There is a large pedestal with 3 Aelfin books, which are probably scrolls. I feel like there's a collection of scrolls on the table. She's going to grab those in her arm, and she's also going to grab the other thing that is in this room, which is a large crystal in a geometric shape. It is about 2 fists wide, to give you a sense of the scale. And she grabs this, and as soon as she's holding it, she lets out a sigh of relief, and she says, "Okay, it's still here. Sorry, this is important. There's a lot of chaos in my head right now, but I couldn't afford to leave this behind."
Blevin would like to ask, did your grave robbing go well?
Not great. Well, good and bad. Good and bad. Bad, I'm pretty sure we murdered and ate one of my students. Good, I did finish a lifetime of research. So that's pretty cool. I'm Professor Mel Pooty, by the way.
I'm your rescuer, Blevin.
More like Professor Murderer Pooty.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
I hate this lady. Ruta hates her with a passion.
Really looks on dispassionate.
I have a question for Bren.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I could use my aspect for Inquisition knowledge to find out whether or not any of the artifacts that she pulled back or her research is related to that?
Sure. I'll go ahead and tell you. Okay, I think that the knowledge you got from the Inquisition data will give you the questions to ask, but I think it's actually Ruda who would be able to fill in to answer that question for you. It does not appear that she intentionally summoned those demons. It looks more likely that she fell into a trap while she was researching something else.
I was gonna say, does Ruta recognize the little thing that she picked up?
You recognize that it is of Aelfin design. You do not know what it is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. That's not the case. It has hints of Aelfin design to it. And I think that's all I can say.
Blovin is going to console her and say, "It must have been so hard for you to have lost your student."
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I can say, were we possessed?
Ruta's gritting his teeth right now and glaring at Blovin.
Okay, if we were possessed, I want to say, would not recommend. Very unpleasant.
Can I actually go up to Ruta and whisper a question, trying to do it discreetly?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna ask Ruta. Ruta, do people typically choose to be possessed, or is it an affliction done to them?
I've definitely seen a lot of people want to be possessed.
Alright, and I'm gonna go.
I will go ahead and say, just for, because this is something Ruta would know, it's probably the majority of cases of possessions are not voluntary. It's your traditional haunted house scenario where somebody just happens to be close to a demon and gets possessed by them. However, there is a not unsubstantial amount of people who are drawn by the power of demons and become cultists and essentially let themselves be possessed, and a lot of mystics fall under that group.
Alright, I'm gonna continue to whisper to Ruta, I think we gotta be really careful because she may have wanted to be. She may have been drawn to the idea of completing her life's work with the help of demons.
If only there was some way that we could read her thoughts.
Ask, is Blovin picking up literally any guilt from her at all whatsoever?
Oh, she has horrible guilt over the things she did when she was possessed. It's more that she's horrified rather than guilty.
Yeah, she's not ashamed of this.
Okay, so let's go, since I think that Blovin was hinting at that. Blovin, do you want to ask some questions and kind of read her thoughts to feel kind of do a lie detector kind of thing on her?
Yes, but I should say she was the the exception to the rule of everybody, all the children, not children, college students. Is there a difference? They were all given the lifetime of free therapy, so to speak, that happened at the end of last game.
And she was
not. So anything that she's feeling right now should just be the unadulterated truth of her reactions, right? So, yeah, I'll give her a few just questions to sort of, kind of gauge what she's feeling right now. I think the first was obviously it must have been so hard for you to lose your student, just kind of bringing that person to mind. And then I'd ask, just what will you do to memorialize that student or something, something along those lines.
Okay, yeah, I think with that, she's gonna kind of slump to the ground against a wall and say, "Oh, wow, I hadn't even thought of it yet. I guess we're gonna have to tell her parents, and then the school is we'll probably do a memorial or something, and oh god, this is such a mess.
Do I get the sense that this is at all exaggerated even slightly?
No, she's literally horrified.
Okay, I think I continue with my consoling bit, saying this is really difficult time for you.
Do you have any other questions?
Does anyone have any recommendations here? I'm just Jeff the player's not certain of what I need to ask.
I would like to imprison her.
Yeah. Root is going to ask to read the little scroll things and forcefully tries to grab them away from her.
Yeah, and I would like to put her in shackles.
Okay. I think when you do that, she's not going to object. I think that she feels that she should be in shackles right now. When Ruta goes to grab the scrolls, she looks very disappointed when you take them away from her. Like this is something she's been searching for her whole life, and she just had it taken away from her. But she isn't going to attack you or anything.
Levin will not at all stand in the way of your efforts to shackle her. As you do so, he's going to continue to try to say, you understand, we have to take these precautions. Trying to continue to sort of encourage her compliance with this.
Okay, yeah. She's gonna just she's gonna nod her head.
Yeah, my goal is we've secured the VIP. We have the additional material and the propaganda stuff. I would want to return her back to the school as soon as possible.
And return the research to the school so the school can do a thorough investigation kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's up to them to do what they want with that knowledge. To me, it's very clear cut that someone died under her watch. And I don't take kindly to that.
Okay. Ruta, so you flip through the scrolls that she had, and they're all written in Old Aelfin, which I'm pretty sure we did a check earlier when you entered the temple, and we confirmed that you were not able to read it because you were not a very good student.
I understood the tree enough, but yeah, you're probably right. I actually do not know how to read Old Aelfin.
Yeah, no, I think that you probably had a Old Aelfin 105 class, but you skipped most of the lessons getting stoned and stuff like that. So Ruta is a stoner, by the way, is my favorite
yeah, that's legit.
He's a dealer now.
And a dealer. So as long as we are able to take that with us, those materials that she collected, as long as we're not leaving it behind, then Professor Pooty goes along without objections, and the students come along too. Are you guys going to just head out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we should.
One last question. Do we think that we've recovered all of the bodies or actual survivors of the group? Is there any question of one person's not there or something like that?
Yeah, so the only person that was not in that room, so you guys got the partially consumed corpse. You got
there was a person caught in a bear trap. I don't know that we got that person.
That was the only one I was going to mention.
Okay, well, that's on our way out anyway, so we'll probably try to...
Yep.
Yeah, we should grab those remains as we get out.
Okay. So, I'm going to just start dragging you guys towards the entrance. So, as you guys are making your way out, you pass the chopped up tree, and I think the professor is going to be pretty wide-eyed and say, "Oh my, you killed it? I mean, that's fine. It's just that it was really, really old.
I don't want to hear it, lady.
No,
Wait,
no, that's-
did we not
that's fair.
have to? Could we have talked to it?
Yeah, I mean, all you had to do was say that you were coming, like, in search of knowledge, and that you were not there to release the prisoners, but that's fine.
Okay, I'll catalog that and keep that in reference for future memories. Move along, prisoner.
Don't antagonize her, mate. Don't
You're
know
right.
her.
I'm sorry, Ruta.
What prisoners?
She's a prisoner. Mel Pooty is a prisoner.
No, but
Um,
the tree. All we had to do was tell it that like we were in search of knowledge and we weren't going to release the prisoners. What prisoners was that tree talking about?
Oh, wasn't this place
so-
like a tomb for prisoners?
yeah, so this
Okay.
this place was originally a temple, and the monks here started researching something that they called the creators, and they were able to find they were collecting information to reunite themselves with their creators, but probably because of some like internal theology stuff, this was considered a heresy by the rest of their society, and they were buried alive in here. Yes. Does that answer your question?
So the group knows that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we take any of the wood from the tree with us?
Sure.
I would like. I want to pocket
Sentient-
some into my secret compartment. like
Okay,
a
it was
small
a
amount.
sentient being, so that's fine.
That's fine. I would like to research it.
Cool.
So before we leave, I'd like to ask the captain if she wants to do anything else before we get out of here.
No, I think she says that she doesn't need to do anything here. She's just here to observe, and so far, well, she'll talk about it when you get back to the ship.
Ooh,
You feel very good.
Amo wants to actually run ahead of the party, just to get the like machines in working order, like the what's it called?
Okay, that's this is good timing then. So,
Oh boy.
Amel, as you run ahead of the party, you're going to bump into a hooded figure who's standing in the middle of the hallway up ahead. Before we do that scene, was everything resolved in that room? We answered the questions. You guys got some wood off of the old tree. Oh, I wanted to say, so, mate, you specifically, when you heard her talking about them trying to, like find their creators, and you put that in context with the things that you read earlier, that is very, like, whatever your character's equivalent of, like, theologically upsetting would be. Like that is something very, very wrong.
Like something that just should not be done in general, or something that is exclusively wrong to me.
Yes, the latter.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, Amel, you start running into the hallway, and you stop short when you see that there is a hooded figure. This figure is wearing a thick green cloak, and their face is actually they have the hood of the cloak pulled up, but then underneath the hood there's actually a shroud hanging down, so you can't even see their face behind it. And this figure is going to hold up a hand to stop you, Emil, and then they are going to start walking forward. Do you do anything?
I'm gonna scream and I'm gonna be like, backup stat! Oh god!
Okay.
We're just
Does
gonna
this
run.
sound about-
I would like to teleport into the hallway.
Roy flies over on his anti-grav platform.
Okay, very good. Everybody rushes over. So the hooded figure stops when it sees pretty much the whole hallway filled up with adventurers with big weapons and such. And then they are going to they're going to stand still for a second, and then they're going to look past you, and they're going to say, you are interfering with something I've been working on for a very long time. I don't suppose you would be willing to leave and let them get back to work?
Who the hell are you and who the hell is they?
Them. And the figure speaks in a very feminine voice, and they gesture over your shoulder to the students and the professor, and she's going to say, as for me, I'm just a concerned observer.
Bullshit.
Yeah, she shrugs.
I'm gonna say to her, well, you are interfering in stuff we've been working on for a few hours.
Okay, she's going to lift her hand up, and she like points at each of you guys, but specifically at each of your weapons, as if she's counting and doing some like mental tallying, and then she takes a step backwards and she says, not a fight I want to do right now.
Brutus got his hand on the handle of his sword.
Yep.
Roy's about
Alright.
to bless that area.
Last warning. Please turn Professor Pooty over to me, and I'm going to need access to her research and anything that she found in this facility.
We don't know who you are. Show us your face. Tell us your name.
I think she chuckles and says, I can't show you my face. The shroud is for your benefit. And for my name, you can just call me the Shrouded Woman. And anyway, the warning was for you. If you don't want to turn over the professor and give me her research now, then that's fine. And she's going to turn around and start walking out of the building.
I want to stop her.
Roy casts Divine Scion on the whole room.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what does Roy do?
He's
Roy casts Divine Scion on the whole room.
so he's filling the room up with divine light. And Aveline teleports in front of her. So Roy, right away, the divine light catches her by surprise for a second, but it does not seem to injure her or bother her in the way that it did with the demons. Ruda, I'll go ahead and tell you, because I'm sure that you would be curious about this. If this was a person who was possessed, they would also be affected by the divine light. The fact that they are not affected by the divine light means that there is probably not any demonic influence here.
Can I do a deep dive?
What does that mean?
Can I interface with this person, like over the network?
Whew, that's a very interesting question. Hold on, let me think.
Process of elimination. What are you?
So here's what I will say. you reach out over like Wi-Fi to interface with this person, and you reach out looking for like a galactic standard like Wi-Fi security key kind of thing. And what you find is actually a security system, like a wireless interface that is made in the same style as your own.
Oh
Well,
snap!
shoot.
Hmm.
That's not
And-
good.
Yeah, and with that, Aveline, as soon as you teleport in front of her, she's going to stop for a second, and then she's going to pat you on the shoulder like a child that just did a cute trick, and then she is also just going to disappear. You
Oh
can
shit!
clearly recognize that the disappearing trick she did is astropathic psionic.
Can I open my third eye and see if I can see any trace of where she went? Can I see her warp presence anywhere?
No, I'm gonna say that in this case, I'm not completely going to close the book on whether that is possible for you to do, but she definitely teleported like cleanly enough that you don't have an easy trail to follow.
Aveline's pouting super hard right now. She just turns around and walks out of the temple. She's not even talking to you guys anymore.
Yeah, I'm miffed in a way that I had not been since joining this party.
What's up
Um,
with these guys? But what's going on with you two?
Roy has gotten really
I'm
curious
sorry.
about what Mate found out and has moved closer to him.
Oh, are acting weird.
I'm
we
just gonna
need to-
run over to the Jeeps and check them to make sure that they're good, and maybe do some modifications.
Just for fun?
Mate,
No,
what
we
did you see?
We have a lot of extra like cargo, so I'm gonna like think of ways that we can like strap Mel Pooty to the roof or something.
So, you guys brought one of your own vehicles, right? What did you guys come over here with? You had
Two.
a Mills recon vehicle,
And then Ruda.
Ruda's Wraith, and then the
Blevin
one.
had drove the Jeep, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, never mind. So you guys came with the one Jeep that was left behind because it was broken. The two
Yeah.
Jeeps that these guys took to get here were parked outside of the temple. So you guys can take those to get back.
Okay, I guess we got a Jeep convoy then.
Yep. Okay. Did anyone have any other questions before we head back to the ship?
Yeah,
Yeah, Roy is interested in asking Mate what exactly he saw and what that could imply.
I think the best way to answer that would be like, I'm gonna look up at Roy and just go, she was like me, and I'm just gonna head to the Jeep because I'm very confused.
Uh-huh.
Roy follows.
And for extra fun, mate, to make you extra confused, she did use magic, which is very distinctly not something that your kind of creature can do.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's very confusing. Like that foul path, that foul structure is just so familiar at this point. In seeing
Yeah,
that, I
does
would just
not
like
confuse
jump back. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head out of the building. You get in your vehicles, and I'm gonna say that you guys can get back to the landing site pretty effortlessly. So I think that the natural progression here would be for you guys to pack all the professor and all the students up into the car and then fly them back to the university. Is that what you want to do?
Is
I
there
believe
anything
so.
else we could wrap
I'd
up
like
here,
to also,
though?
as we do.
Mikhail?
Yeah, no, I was just asking, is there anything else that would be pertinent for us to kind of wrap up outside the temple before we leave?
Okay, sorry. One very important detail that I forgot to mention, is, Mel Pooty, grabbed her tablets, basically their equivalent of, laptops, that she had with her when she was inside, and she's taking that with her. Otherwise, she's comfortable leaving all of the equipment behind so that they can travel light and just get out of here.
I have one request from can we blindfold the people before they are able to see my ship? Because I don't want anyone being able to identify my ship.
Okay. Yeah.
Blindfold them before they get on the ship, and then when they're on the ship, we keep them in a room, and then blindfold them when they get off the ship.
Wait. Hold on. Can anyone hear me? Just
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Blovin would not know why you want to blindfold them.
Blovin. Oh, Blovin. Let's just say that my ship is,
We're blindfolding the survivors who we've rescued from the demons who've been possessed for about a month, right?
Yeah.
Are these the people you're worried about?
No, my ship is... Blovin. I whispered to Blovin. I stole my ship.
Okay, I steal many ships. Just like the second time this week, right? So who cares?
Wow.
Okay, all right, Bluffin. But if
Roy
we get
scoffs.
if we get the fuzz on us from these guys, I'm gonna have some work
Relax,
for you.
buddy. I got this.
I'm just gonna go just back in the temple.
Blindfolding them all. Last
Just
thing I
let me
want
do
is
the
to
talking.
conversation.
Trust me.
Amul is gonna be all right. I will let you do the talking when we get space pulled over.
Okay.
Ruda is carrying.
Space cold.
Ruda has ounces and ounces of space weed here. Okay, your ship, Emro. I have so much.
Roy
that I'm
facepalm.
holding.
Okay. So you guys pack everyone up onto the ship. You fly back to the western half of the continent on Tridley 1, the moon that you're on, and you head over to the main town. Are you guys going to just head straight to Dynel University?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
as far as I know, I think our main objective is to get the survivors back and collect our reward, and continue on about our next quest. As far as I can see, unless there's any major things that other people want to do before we leave.
Yeah, I definitely would like to go back to the university.
Okay. So
Let's try to, when we go back to the university, let's try to avoid that Inquisitor douche.
So I feel like he
Yeah,
Sounds
left.
like a good idea.
I hope.
I'm
I'm not
to
making any
decide,
promises.
because I feel like narratively it would make the most sense to have him come up, but I don't have anything in mind for him, so I'm just gonna say that he's not there. So maybe he'll come up again. I don't know. Okay, so you guys head over to Dynel University. What are you guys doing with Mel Pooty specifically? Are you marching her through the streets in handcuffs?
I am.
Okay. You get some stares and whispers. but I don't think anybody's going to stop you.
Okay.
I think they're all just going to assume this is some kind of like weird fetish thing.
A little bit of headcanon. Roy has been interrogating her this entire time while she was in transport, while Mate has had her. His curiosity has been piqued, especially regarding the whole creators thing, and the shrouded woman that we met who used magic. So like while we're marching her through the street, like Roy is continually questioning her and like holding a notepad and like writing or whatever the space equivalent of a notepad would be, and like tapping down everything that she says.
Sure. So I'm gonna edit your character sheet, and I'm gonna give you the aspect Professor Pooty's testimony.
Okay. Will that update, or do I need to refresh it to see any edits you make?
It should update as soon as I click away.
Okay.
So if we look at aspects now, you should have a new one under personal aspects.
Can we give Roy the aspect expert interrogator?
Yeah.
You've done it several times already.
You have done
Yeah.
it. Do you feel that Roy is a good interrogator?
He definitely would be. Yeah.
Or just does a lot of interrogating.
I think both. Roy's all about asking questions and trying to figure out the answers to his conundrum. So
Okay.
I'd like
Yeah,
to
if
quietly
it's-
ask Roy, have you ever tried reading their thoughts?
I'm gonna give you the
Are
aspect.
you asking that in character?
Yeah.
That would be an invasion.
Wow. Okay.
But, Roy, what are you trying to do other than to collect their thoughts?
The way that I am is different from most of you organics. I don't pry through things that aren't meant to be pried through. I will glean my knowledge through my own means.
Okay.
He's still kind of beefing with you about messing with the memories of those students.
So I gave you the practiced interrogator aspect. I think that's relevant. I will make so you have information from her. Most of her information that she gives you is of a oh shit, would she have Okay. Most of the information that she has is that of a like archaeologist who is reading historical documents and making inferences. So she gives you a lot of information. This will be fun. Mate, I think that you hear these conversations, and I think that while you're listening in, Mate, you're in the back of your head, you're kind of just going, well, that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong.
Interesting. I think Roy would have also answered that previous question in the sense of with an additional the conclusions that organic memories find can often be flawed. I find it better to make our own conclusions.
Okay.
Real quick, how do I know all this information is wrong? Like, I can just straight up address that information on my own and know that that's right?
Can we take a like 60-second sidebar?
Yeah, we sure can.
Okay, so
Ooh.
What's a sidebar?
It's a secret conversation.
Aw.
Yeah.
So we got to roleplay what's happening in the meantime. I guess I made this nice comment. Oh, never mind. You're responding to it. It does feel like there's a little bit of a tag team duo between Roy sort of being the tough interrogator and Blovin sort of being the consoling good cop, so to speak.
I do want to make it clear that Roy doesn't like torture or anything. He doesn't hurt people.
Well, like most buddy cop duos, we We have
Has
a
anybody ever
tenuous
seen?
relationship.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen The Expanse?
I started watching it. I think it's a series,
So-
right? I began.
So there's the Martians in The Expanse, the Martian humans. They have interrogators, and they'll take like this pill. I guess it's like speed or something that makes like their mental alacrity like super boosted or something, and they start asking questions really fast and drawing conclusions based off of those answers without like they are able to make logical leaps beyond what just the normal memory and the normal response would imply. So they're taking in everything, not just the words that are said, but like the person's heartbeat, their sweat, every single aspect of their response is what they're taking in. So that would
like
be
all
similar to how Roy is when he's
behavioral
like,
nuances and stuff.
yeah.
Logical nuances.
I would imagine that his questions would be really, they would feel really strange and off-putting to the person being questioned. At least his responses to them.
Okay, so I'm back, and just reading the chat, I very much appreciate the idea of Ruda and Aveline being weed buddies. Okay, so
Absolutely.
you guys have Professor handcuffed, and you talked about wanting to take her into custody. You do still want to hand her over to the university, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Like, the whole intention here is just to make sure that she does not escape justice for the misservings against the children that were hurt under her care. Like, a hard, fast rule for Mate is just not seeing children hurt, and she broke that law. And to me, that's like, you can't not escape harm from having done something to them that they didn't ask for.
I also love the idea of Mate being low-key, like an old-timey sheriff in personality.
Yeah, I didn't say it while we were down there, but I absolutely consulted my old comic book and then made sure that that was the right thing to do, and then did it.
You consulted your like data log.
Yes. Yeah, basically my PDF of the comic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, I just also would like to add. I'm gonna look at Roy, and I'm going to send Roy a encrypted email that says "Do not read with the group," and all it's going to say is Mel Pooty is lying, and then it's going to have like 5 smiley faces at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's all I want to do with that. And I still would like to take her to our contact and have them figure out what to do next.
I have a question for everyone.
Yeah.
I would like to know if everyone understands my empathy powers. Like, is this a thing that's just well documented among the group? Everyone understands what I normally am able and capable of doing as a class?
I don't know the mechanics of it, but I've been thinking of you kind of like a Deanna Troi type of empath.
I don't think this would be terribly secret. Like, I'm not usually sort of broadcasting, I'm doing empathy on you or whatever, but to the group, right? I feel like I would have disclosed sort of what my normal process is.
I think that
so
you guys are essentially I think of you guys almost like a mercenary unit that are working together, and it would absolutely make sense for everyone in the unit to know what everyone else can do for coordination.
So I'm not gonna tell you who you need to send these things to, but most of you should have probably at least seen and interpreted what I was previously doing as probably trying to get a read on Pooty. So if you'd like to confer with my own notes on whether Pooty's lying, that could make sense, but do what you will.
Okay.
Okay. So, you guys get back to Dynell University. Are you just going to march the professor and her students straight through the campus up to the dean's office?
As Mate, I'm very concerned about what happens with Mel Pooty. I hope that the students are okay. I was hoping that Blovin was helping in assisting them with their trauma. Maybe I'm even saying straight up, hey, Blovin, can you make sure to make those kids happy again before taking the professor into the main offices.
It's
Got a way to
my
make me
top
happy.
priority.
Okay.
Very good. And I'll give like a little thumbs up.
Space Jesus.
Okay. So you drop Mel Pooty off. You head into the room, and Dean Kelso, who is we established is like this dean of public affairs, not like the like president of the school. Dean Kelso is going to ask for a minute alone with her. Is that all right with you guys?
I'm gonna be like,
No.
is the Inquisitor here?
The
Roy
Inquisitor-
kind of ignores the request, but has to be like kind of pried away.
Yeah, if it's like it's very forceful to have to leave, then yes. Otherwise, I would not like to leave the room because I kind of would like to keep eyes on Mel Pooty.
Okay.
We're just following mate's lead.
Security cameras in the room.
Enforcer here.
Are there? Hold on. I'm thinking of an actual room on my campus that I'm basing this on. No, there are not security cameras in here. There are security cameras in the hall outside.
Is there a computer in the room?
Yes.
Could one of our sleeved people hack into the microphone in that computer?
Mate might be able to do that. I don't
Yeah,
know
I might be
how
able to.
accomplished Mate is as a hacker.
Yeah, that's actually the magical thing. I kind of suck at hacking. I'm trying to get better.
Could I try
You
it?
wanna-
I think Roy could do that actually.
Yeah, do you guys any of you guys can give it a shot?
Yeah, we'll collectively do it. I would like to try.
I
Okay.
would like to try as well.
Everyone roll software, and remember, so the character sheets all have the sections like blocked off. So
we got a title. We're gonna all of us are gonna launch a DDoS attack.
We just have to all do it at the same time.
Love it.
Okay, you guys all rolled great. You guys all
Alright.
rolled very good. Okay, so I think that between Mate and Roy, you guys are able to get in. I think that Ruda does not stand a snowball's chance in hell of getting in because Ruda does not know what a tablet is. Ruda is not
I'm a
aware
tablet.
that computers have cameras. Okay, so between Roy and Mate working together, you guys are able to get into her camera and do it like relatively discreetly. So I'm not going to say that there's no record of this happening, but definitely nobody knows currently that it has happened.
Okay.
So are you guys in that case going to leave the room?
Yes.
Okay. All of that was very good detective work. As soon as you leave, it's literally just Dean Kelso embracing her old friend and saying how worried she was about her and stuff like that. It's literally actually just two friends hoping for a private moment.
It wasn't something
Which we
super
were
nefarious
super
and
suspicious
secret.
of.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So after they have a bit and Dean Kelso is able to check on Mel, she is going to actually leave Mel in the room and head out into the hall with you guys. And she says, I can't thank you enough for what you've done here. It's going to be a lot of work for us dealing with the fallout from this, but you've done really good work here. The bursar's office will have a check forwarded to you. Do you guys a conversation happens to work out the logistics of the billing. She says we might need some help with how things go from here. Mel said that there was some woman who was threatening you guys. So, it's possible we'll reach back out, but for now, why don't you guys head back home, and we'll give you a call if we need anything. All right?
Is there any way that we can ensure that this never happens again?
Yeah, I mean, Professor Pooty's going to lose her license.
Okay. Can we have new policies at the university to make sure that no demonic things are done, in secret, basically?
We require access to your entire database.
The university will. This is definitely going to be an event that the university learns from. We will make our own steps to take care of that, and I
need your word.
We will provide third-party verification if you give us access to your entire database on a regular basis.
That sounds like just like a big job for you guys to have that is really not a responsibility you need to do.
It is being offered.
If you I think she's going to give you guys a hard no on that. But she will say that you have her word that nothing like this is ever going to happen again.
I'm gonna tug on Rory's coat and go, psst, you should get that in writing.
The word of an organic is useless. We require written verification.
And I'm just gonna nod my head.
She smiles and she says, "All right, I'll write up something and send it over to you. Okay?"
Very good. One last thing, and I'm just raising my hand. When is the funeral gonna happen for the one student?
She's going to sigh and kind of pinch her temples and say, "Oh, it's such a mess. Maybe in the next week or two, we've gotten them down to the oh my god, the place you take dead bodies.
Morgue.
Yeah, they're at the morgue now.
Cadavers.
It's ultimately the family's decision on how to handle that, but are you saying this because you want to go to the funeral?
Yep. I would like for you to send me an invite so I can give my respects.
Okay. Yeah, she will definitely keep you CC'd on that.
Cool beans. I'm going to unshackle Mel Pooty. I'm going to wave, and I'm going to walk out the room.
Okay.
Root is gonna walk up to Mel Pooty and grab her collar and pull her in and be like, "Look, if you ever summon demons again, X is gonna be right fucking behind you. And I'm not gonna just kill demons next time. Got it?"
Yeah, she looks pretty horrified. And she says, "Yeah, got it." Okay. So, are you guys... So you guys are going to get payment from the bursar's office. It should come through by the end of the day. Do you guys want to do anything before you head back to the ship?
Can we do the checks basically go instantaneously into our space bank accounts?
I think that you guys probably have a banking that is handled through the Gemini, if you guys would be comfortable with that. Just because with the nature of you guys doing very illicit activities and them and
kind
also
of like an intermediary
all over the galaxy into different factions and stuff like that, right. I think it just makes the most sense for the Gemini to have their own like banking department that handles.
The Gemini is basically like our Cayman Islands shell account or something.
Yeah, basically. And it also takes into consideration the fact that you guys, you do have to put like, I think that you guys all have to pay something like $2,000 a month or more, like the equivalent of that, towards the Gemini for rent, because you're not just paying for a room, you're also paying for the gas to take you from system to system, and the, like, you know, discretion and all the other like assets.
I think we should go back to the Gemini, go shopping, and see how all the other teams fared this planet side.
Okay, that sounds very good. Hey, very appropriate music right now, Mikhail. I really like it. Okay.
Thanks.
So you guys all pack up on your ship and you head back to the Gemini. You have some downtime and
one question. I'd like to ask the captain how we did.
Oh, yes, I was going to do that next. So while you guys are on your ship heading back to the Gemini, or maybe on, like, you know, the walk over to your ship from outside of town, the captain is going to say, "Hi, team, I have finished your assessment. And can I just say, I'm impressed. You guys continue to work together well as a group. What is your guys' character? Are you guys named the Cell? Is that your faction? I'm pretty sure that's what you called your. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the new members of the Cell are Roy and Emil, correct?
Say that again.
Roy and Emil are the new members that were being tested out. Everyone else is has been in this group for a while,
Yep.
right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. So she says, Roy, you did good work with the with your powers, and also you held your own in combat. I'm very impressed, and I like that you had your own values and you stood up to them. Emil, you did good work with the vehicles, and you had natural chemistry with the group. I think that this is a good placing for both of you.
Ooh. Don't forget that time that I told that Inquisitor what's what.
You definitely are in the right place. Blovin, as always, you run a tight ship. I'm very impressed with the group. It's been a pleasure working with you guys again. It's been too long since I headed out with you. I like watching you guys work together.
Ours is all mine, Cap. I mean, ours.
Ruda, she slaps you on the shoulder and she says, "You're a terrible driver, and you need to pay more attention to your colleagues."
Yeah, but tell me about how I did on all those demon killings.
You did kill good on those demons.
Look out for the tough guy over here.
Good work, Ruda. Rounds on me when you get back.
I'm going to take you up on that.
Did you not obtain the organic validation you require?
Okay.
Side eyes.
So, you guys get back to the Gemini and you catch your breath. Let's see. I think that the wombats are all still out. So I'm gonna move these guys off to the side. Now that you're back at the ship, you guys don't have any objectives right now, but I want to know what you guys do to unwind after a hard day like this, especially considering that a lot of you, I think, have gone through a bit of trauma.
Roy goes back to his room or enclosure or whatever and reviews all of the data that the party gathered. He has like sort of like a bed / regeneration chamber a la 7 of 9 in Voyager. So he steps into that to review the data. So it's like an eye open sleeping.
Okay.
As far as what Blovin does, he's usually gonna take to the pool and do like laps and stuff like that. It's basically like reverse dolphin training, where he's sort of like training himself almost.
Okay. And by the way, because you guys have finished a level and you're now going to get what I would consider a long rest, which means that you have like you're going to get a sizable amount of time in the span of like days to rest and recuperate and get your head back. Your mental health and fate points are both going to refresh.
Oh, very good.
Any conditions you acquired are still going to be there, but depending on how much time passes, they might go away just based on the passage of time.
That like I think a moderate consequence of fear of light is gone, right?
It was moderate.
Moderates go away after a week, right?
Yeah, let me pull up the thingy.
I don't know if it was moderate or mild. I'm not sure. It was whatever it was.
Let's open up Lovin. Let's open up Stress, Fate, and Consequences. It was moderate, which is the second tier, and healing and repair. Show to players. Moderate consequences go away after 1 day. So yes, it will go away. Technically, it would first revert back to a mild consequence, and then the mild consequence would go away. But you're gonna have more than 25 hours. So yeah. So I will go ahead and get rid of that for you. Okay. That's weird. I'll figure that out later. Movement, fate, okay, yes, so Blovin is at the pool. Where would the pool be? I actually think that the pool is probably up in the greenhouse.
It might not even be like a formal recreational pool. It could just be like almost like a koi fish pond, or like it's in a garden or something. Like it might not be totally intentional.
I think that makes sense, and I think
you just literally swim in like the tree's water supply as it gets circulated through.
Yeah, and I think that this is like you're definitely not the only Nautilin on this ship.
It's like a hydroponics system.
Yeah, so I think that all of the Nautilins probably come here to bathe and relax.
Blovin, you get to poop in the water because it'll get circulated through the trees.
Can we have the classic like beach episode of any given anime?
Oh god, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's up to you guys.
Bran, you gotta seal that one in the bag and save that for a good one.
Okay, so mate, what do you do when you get back to the ship?
Do we have the equivalent of a smithy on board?
You have an let's see. Yes, you have. It's in the hold, although I apparently didn't put it down yet, so I'm going to correct that. But
It could be in the hangar.
That's where it is. So the hangar is in the hold. It's next to the hangar is like the the laboratory, I think that's what I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's where like they have equipment for you guys to do any like forensics work that you need to do, and likewise just any other work that you need to do with like scientific equipment. They have tools for.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go there, and I'm gonna go into my compartment and pull out the ancient wood that I found, and slap down my 6-shooter, and just tell them I would like this reinforced. Reinforce the handle with this, please.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. So here's the deal. They don't have this ship doesn't have a like a scientist on board or like somebody on board who does that kind of stuff for you.
Does the town have that? Like
Well,
back in the university
what
town?
I will say is you don't have like an employee that you go to. You would go to one of your friends. You would like know somebody on board who is decent at this, and then you like ask them for a favor, essentially.
Okay. That doesn't have to just be a party member. That could be an NPC.
Yeah. So why don't we invent an NPC?
Okay. Let's call them Charlie.
Okay. So we've got a Charlie. Who do we not have well represented in terms of races? We don't have any avians yet, right?
Yeah, we should have an avian. I think Charlie should be an avian.
Okay, hold on. I like that idea. I think that an avian blacksmith doesn't work for a number of reasons, mostly being that they do all of their manipulation with their digit feathers. And
blacksmiths would actually, I mean, not.
You're right. They would probably be working with like 3D printing equipment.
Oh, I was even thinking that. Yeah, you're probably right. They'd be working all automated, so they could be. But a Nova would be a good choice for them as well.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? We don't have any other Nova on crew, and this would be a really appropriate place since they're like a mechanically inclined species. Let me see. Who can I put down? Okay, I like this one. I like this one a lot. Nope, it's this one. It's definitely this one. Okay, what did you say that their name was?
Charlie.
Okay. I am putting down Charlie. Charlie is a Nova, and Charlie uses humanoid pronouns. So she uses she/her pronouns.
Okay.
Which is not universal for Nova, but it's also not at all uncommon.
It's more common for Nova that live in closer proximity to the other people's.
Yeah, any Nova who like lives in a city is likely to do that. Also, the Nova who do that are more likely to use the emoji faces instead of
the traditional.
Yeah, the traditional one, which I am picturing kind of like the Maori like tribal tattoos, but just like on their face and constantly shifting, like the Rorschach mask.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is her, and let's have this scene. So you plopped the wood down in front of her, and you asked her to reinforce your gun with it. This is your primary gun, right?
Yeah, this is my old world 6-shooter, and I'd like to basically infuse it like the handle with that woodworking, kind of as a memento.
Has Mate done any upgrades like this on this gun in the past?
Yeah, I have been making it kind of like my purpose when we go down to planets to take something back from them each time. and kind of affix them to the weapon. So there's kind of markings and like metalwork that's been done from like several of our trips so far.
That's really cool. In Dirge of Cerberus, how he has that the chain hanging down from the handle of his revolver with like a magnet at the end. I think he's got some stuff like that, like just accessories.
Yeah, that's canon now.
Okay,
that is a name I've not heard in a long time, but that's a good pull.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and put that there. Okay, so I'm going to start putting down a character, an NPC sheet for Charlie, just so I don't forget about them. Forget about her. But can you edit your character sheet, and in the equipment section, note that your hand cannon has some aspect that feels appropriate for what you just described?
Okay, yeah.
Add character. This character is going to be named Charlie. And the sprite that we used is People Nova, this red girl, and use selected token. Good enough? Did that work? No. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up. So yeah, Charlie is. I think that Charlie's probably your go-to person doing this kind of work. She's an experienced machinist on board, and she is happy to do that upgrade for you. This is very important. So, Emil has not been on this ship for terribly long. I need to know, has Emil met Charlie yet?
Yes, because Emil spends a lot of time in the hang.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, and I think that
they're buds.
You two are definitely buds because she's also a huge machinist nerd.
Yeah, we're buds.
Okay, this is very good. Actually, your character is not a machinist, are you? You're a sage and a pilot?
No, I'm a machinist and a pilot. I do the...
Okay, okay.
Let me go to the... I'll go find it.
Okay, that sounds right. I just, couldn't remember. Yeah, you are. You're a machinist and a pilot. Okay, so so you and Charlie definitely hang out, and yeah, Charlie definitely makes you a beautiful hand, or probably not hand carved, but like a carving of her own design that fits very well into your like specifically shaped hand. And it's a good like thick grip that fits very well. And updated your hand cannon. Did you update your character sheet?
Yeah, I added the aspect under it that just says enchanted grip.
All right. Oh, you added that in the weapon section?
Yeah, I did in the weapon section. Should I have added it?
I do both. So
okay.
Go into the aspect section, and in the gear aspects, add Magnum Enchanted Grip. Okay. And also add just like Magnum accessories, like something just to show that you have like accessories on your gun.
Will do.
Again, that's something that I don't know if that would ever come up, but it's a cool fact, so we might as well jot it down. All right. Who have we not done yet?
I don't think I've gone.
Okay, Emil.
And I kind of want to go visit Roy in Roy's study.
Oh, okay. So you guys are in cabins. All right. So Emil
knocks on Roy's door.
Enter.
Emil enters. Roy, I have a question. You have beef with organic life. Am I right?
If by beef you mean I view them as inferior, that is correct.
I'm very curious, Roy. Where do you see Nova? Because we Nova are not organic. We have no organic chemistry. We're beings of energy. We don't die the same way. But we also have no ability to upload our being into the digital world. We are stuck permanently in the material.
Your people are deserving of more respect than the common organic, but the fact remains that you are an anomaly in the spatial composition.
I see. Interesting.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Are your people composed of primarily chemicals or energetic particles?
The specific physics is very complicated, but it seems that we are all one form of strange matter, all one continuous blob of matter, and that our life does not exist in the chemical transitions of that matter, but in the heat and the radiation exchange between them.
That's very
Roy
good.
cocks his head slightly to the right and says, intriguing.
Likewise, Roy. I find you intriguing as well. And Amul leaves.
That was a fantastic conversation.
Wow. Okay.
Aveline, what
shit.
are you up to?
Do I have to stay on the ship?
Well, let's start with what are you thinking?
I feel like she was like, obviously we were resting and dealing with the mental stress, but I feel like Aveline probably would have taken a small amount of time once the group had dispersed to teleport onto Nox's ship and spend some time there to try and calm herself down.
Okay, yes, this is happening. Very, very important question. Is Nox going to know that you're there?
He's aware, but he's ignoring me, like usual. Because I would like to think that whenever Aveline does this, she like teleports into like a closet space that's on the ship to try and be low key, but like she teleported there and she tries to get a feel for things. She comes out of the closet just as Nox is walking by, and he's just like, "Oh, hey," and he just keeps going.
Yeah, this is very good. I'm putting down a sprite. I need your ruling on this. Nox?
Oh my god, yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'll go ahead and zoom in on that for you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of very specific personality, and it feels like exactly the Nox personality.
Oh, it's perfect.
Tina's face. Oh, I think that might actually be...
No, Bran, he's in Final Fantasy 15 in spirit.
Okay, yes, he definitely has the soul of a Final Fantasy 15 character. I kind of think that this guy is actually, let me Google. I think that he is Orphan Scion of Sorcery. Am I right? Images. It's almost exactly the same outfit, but the colors are slightly different. So I'm gonna headcanon that it's Orphan because that was a game I played the shit out of when I was a little kid, and I love it. Okay, so this is Nox. I'm going to go about creating a character sheet for him. Okay, so Nox, I think that Nox isn't like, he's not like surprised to see you, and he's not going out of his like way. I think that he's this is a thing he's kind of used to. But I think that it's kind of like oh hey bud, like it's been a while. How are you doing? The way I'm picturing it is that Nox is always very very like friendly and nice and charming, and he would be perfect if he just cared about you at all, but he's just completely aloof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that used to be there before things went down the way they did, and
Yeah.
he's pretty much been aloof ever since.
Is he Sasuke? Did we just make Sasuke?
Well, it's funny because when I originally started coming up with the concept for Nox, I wanted him to be like Roy Mustang, but I feel like he's gone way more into Sasuke territory.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Oh, no, wait. I put in a note instead of a character. Okay, so I will start making a record of this. You have a good day. You hang out with Nox. I don't think you have a good day hanging out with Nox because, there is a new girl on his ship that is very clearly one of his flings, and I think there's a lot of uncomfortable energy there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Aveline's gonna teleport back to her own room and cry for a bit.
Oh man.
Yeah, do you hit up oh fuck, what's her name?
Otema? I considered it, but I feel like Aveline's probably at a point where she literally can't say words right now because she's just sobbing uncontrollably. So Otema might have heard her in her room having a fit, but it was just like, okay, well, I'll be here when you're ready. And I'm just like throwing stuff at the door, like,
Okay, yeah, no, she definitely tried to come in and console you until the pillows started flying. Oh no, I have so many emotions. Why did you do this to me?
Grant, you know you did this to...
I am terrible.
You're the god of this universe, Grant. You did this.
Okay. Ruda, you're the last one. What are you doing for the day, Ruda?
First thing he does is he like gouges himself at the cafeteria, and then he's just going to like usually after a mission, before he goes back to the gym, he's just unwinding at the bar, just like sharing war stories with the other crews.
Okay, so is that where you are?
First here and then the tavern.
Okay, very good. I'm really happy. You're the last character, right? We hit everyone else? Blovin, Swim...
I'd like to ask a question of Ruda. Ruda. Swimming is a really great form of exercise. Is that a form of exercise that you typically engage in?
Swimming for wimps.
Wow.
Well, to each his own, then.
It works on every muscle group. Ruda should so much be into swimming.
Yeah, you know what also does?
Ruda, you're
also a
definitely a
cyborg,
person who like
right?
skips leg day, aren't you?
The 22nd century, buddy. Just go into a gravity room. It's gonna be so much better for your glutes. You're actually gonna.
Oh yeah, he does the whole Kakarot workout. I got you.
Okay. Very good.
Damn Japanese carrot.
Put you on a regimen if you want.
So I'm really glad that you made your way over to the tavern, because that's actually where the next thing that I had planned is. Okay, yes. So I think that I will, I'll stick with this for now. So you head over to the tavern, and while you're there, I established that the tavern is like it's like the typical relaxation hangout spot. It's also the spot that that the different gangs and crews get together to like chat and share stories and to watch the job board that that the AI like scans local like black market websites and stuff looking for offers and stuff like that. While you're in there, you look up on the board and you're just skimming it, and it starts perusing through the like assassinations section where people would put up like bounties and hit lists. And that's not necessarily work that you guys usually do, but it's certainly work that some people on this ship do. And while you're watching it, you are fairly alarmed to see a photo of you and the rest of your crew come up on the bounty board. And it is a photo of you guys standing in that temple with the big dead tree monster in the background.
Oh shit! Who's seen this?
That is on a public, well, a like underground but like widely perused bounty board.
Okay.
So
what Ruta thinks of is that like shrouded lady.
Mm-hmm.
Downs his drink quickly. He slams it on the table, and then he just quietly walks out, and then runs down the hallway to try to find a mill.
I think at some point, several members of our group would have gone to ask the captain what the hell was going on, and if that occurs, you would have found Roy was already in the room talking to the captain, because after putting together all the information that he reviewed during his regeneration, this was an inevitable conclusion.
I'm so sorry. Could somebody give me a very brief description of what just happened
There's a
again?
bounty on our heads.
Okay, great. That's all I needed.
Or not giving up Pooty. One of the two.
So yeah, in any case, Roy is with the captain talking about what is going on, just asking what's going on.
Yeah, the captain's stance on this is like, hey, tough luck, bud. That's them's the breaks. That's how our job often goes. We don't often make friends doing this kind of work.
Are people on the ship going to come after us?
That was
No.
going to be my next question.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess Roy wouldn't know this, and neither would Emil. But the Gemini has a like very, very strict policy where people on the ship don't directly target each other, and you don't turn each other in ever. If you are caught doing something like that, you just immediately are kicked off of the ship, and you're going to make an enemy with like everybody on board. There's a huge sense of like family and camaraderie on this ship that like, listen, we're all in this same business. We're all making enemies. Like, there has to be a sense of trust in here. So she's saying like, we're not going to turn you over, and like a standard part of the deal that you get with membership on the Gemini is that they will work to keep you like discreet, but at the same time you have to clean up your own messes. So if you don't want anybody coming after you, then maybe you should just stay on the ship for the rest of the month, and then by the time you head out, nobody off world is likely to ever see that. So maybe just lay low.
I'd like to ask Ruta about how, like,
Okay, real quick, I have to walk my dog, so you guys just talk amongst yourselves for a bit.
So, Ruda, would you be able to answer a question that only Bren knows?
But you have to answer it as Bren in character.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh, the question was really just a matter of how visible, with respect to all the other things that are on this like hit list, would we be? Are we like sort of public enemy number one? All the news headlines are going to know us, or are we just among 100 other different here's a bunch of what's happening in the galaxy?
Yeah, no, it's not the galaxy. It is specific to local world, and I think there's probably only like 100 people or so on this list currently. It's not a big list. I will say, however, you guys stand out in that you have the highest bounty on this list by like an order.
Well, shit. In order of what?
An order of magnitude by like a lot. Gotta go walk the dog.
Oh, geez. So the person who's attacking us has deep pockets.
Yeah, so I feel like
Yeah.
Ruda like cheers the entire bar and like bought around because he saw that we were on the bounty list. I feel like there's a sense of pride in it. I don't think that he's scared.
You're trying to like show off to the captain.
This is getting a bounty put on your head is probably like a rite of passage on the Gemini.
Yeah, it
They'd
is.
be like,
And
hey, you earned your wings.
on the ship, we have to have won a round of drinks, a round of like Space Tom Collins or something.
That's true. Yeah. At the same time, it could pose a risk if we're trying to do good to this particular community. If the law enforcement is coming after us, might get in the way of our humanitarian efforts.
Yeah, but all we have to do is avoid it.
Were there any other job postings?
What are
Brim.
you at? Drunk.
Bryn's out with Maverick right now.
I know. Yeah, that was the joke.
I am sitting in Bryn's spot right now.
Definitely
I think you're acting DM right now, Kevin.
I am drunk with power.
Kevin, what
Wow.
kind of like bounties create? Then would you think?
What?
What kind of competition would these bounties create against like the different crews on the ship? Like, what are we? The stakes?
I do not know, but Bryn's coming back in, so I take my time as DM to just give us free money.
Thanks.
Just gonna. I think I have 30 seconds before Bryn gets back. So
Yeah, just devalue the space dollar as fast as you can.
That was a helpful
Change a
DM.
1 to a 0.
I'm adding an aspect to my character sheet of unlimited wealth.
You just gave us all the money.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is great. What else could we do? I give everyone a sense of accomplishment and self-actualization. Oh, great. Okay. So yeah, how was everyone's week?
Kind of uneventful. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These days, that's kind of the best thing you can ask for.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm finishing up finals.
Will you be done this week or like the following week?
Yeah, I'm done on my finals. I just have to write one paper and then I'm done. That's due Wednesday. So it's not terrible.
Is this your last semester?
No, but I only have 2 classes left.
Okay.
Nice. Has it been harder with everything being remote?
Oh yeah. Well, my teachers are real hard asses too.
Oh.
Yeah, well, some of them are like, one of them was like, I'm giving you 10 extra minutes on the exam to submit it, and no excuses. If it's not in, I'm not grading it. And I'm like, what
the
if we're
fuck?
out? Yeah, like what the fuck? What if my power goes out? Like,
God, I really hate professors like that. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
we are literally paying you. Why are you so angry?
But
Yeah.
also right now, like
Right.
you're not interested in trying to hear
Yeah,
why that
I
might not
don't get it.
happen. Yeah. We're not going nowhere,
mean,
fam.
yeah.
Stop.
It's frustrating. But hey, I you know, I had Lindsay helping me like scan and submit it with like 10 minutes left, and it was stressful. Hey Bryn, I gave them unlimited money and a sense of accomplishment and being in the universe.
Yeah,
Over DMing for a second. Mm-hmm.
consequences.
Sense, unlimited, like the sense of being and the sense of accomplishment. Is that basically just a form of like negative mental stress?
You know what? Touche.
Pretty
No
sure.
money, no problems.
Okay, so I'm back. Let me drink some water for a second. Anything
I
interesting happening while I was gone?
One of the questions we were raising is if there were any other job postings that could be on our radar.
Well, I'm just about to get to that.
I feel like I've always like tried to like beat you to the punch every second, Brendan. I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
that's
just
really
sit back
good.
and let things happen.
No, the nature of DMing is that I'm basically talking all the time. So if you guys can like, I spend plenty of time suggesting options for you guys. If you guys can suggest things for me, it's very good. It splits up the talking.
And I was saying that I feel like being on the bounty board is a sense of pride, and there's probably competition among the groups on the ship. Some like reward.
Right. I think that I like the idea. I like the idea that you guys are getting some dirty looks, but it's not because I think it's not because of not because they like want that bounty or anything. It's because they're all jealous that you have like the highest bounty that anyone's seen on this board in like 6 months.
So, I think Blovin's gonna want to ask a question here.
Mhm.
It's bad that we're, under investigation or a bounty or whatever, and that someone may be coming after us and we have to evade them, right? But irrespective of my own, well-being, if somehow we've managed to acquire a bounty on our heads, that speaks to, a level of corruption, not in the third eye sense, but just in the traditional sense, that could be at work here among the locals in this area. And it might be worthwhile to try to clean that corruption up if they're to have a healthy restoration.
So to be clear, this isn't a official government bounty board. It's more of a underground hit list. It's it is a place where people who want somebody taken care of put a name out there and ask for takers, but it's not government sanctioned. I think that the bounty board that the list that the Gemini is displaying includes official government bounties, but this particular one is not one.
Do those is there a criteria of there's an author to that particular posting, or that there's an explanation of why someone's being sought, or is it literally just bring me this person to this place?
So you guys can pull up more information on it. They it doesn't say why you're wanted, but it does say that in addition to killing you guys, they are supposed to retrieve some items from you, and the items that they are supposed to retrieve are Mel Pooty's data slates and the key that you guys retrieved.
Did we get back to the school?
That's up to you guys.
I feel like we might have kept the key, but we would have given Pooty back her data slates, right? If the party agrees with that.
Maybe give them back to the school and let
Yeah,
the school
not
decide.
just to her.
Sure. So,
So this
okay.
person still just wants us dead.
Yep, they want you dead.
Is
And
there a way for us to like hack the listing and see if we can like find out who posted it? I'm fine if the captain's upset with me for trying to hack the computers for this, but
I mean, I do it on a daily basis.
The hosting wouldn't have been directly to the Gemini. It would have been to like a local website. And the Gemini is totally all right with you guys trying to hack that.
Roll software, find the IP address.
I will say, I think that this kind of website has a vested interest in keeping, those people safe. And, well, why don't we go ahead and have somebody roll software? Who wants to roll?
Ooh, no. I was gonna roll, but man.
We reveal our location.
Yeah, actually,
I have a
Aveline,
4 in software, so
So I think that you set off a flag when you No, Aveline set off a flag when she tried to get into that website, and the website made a note that somebody at like this location attempted to edit this article, and that basically has just been added as relevant information to that listing. Okay, so the whole party, has Ruda filled everybody in the party in on this?
Yeah, like guys, we just got the highest bounty I've seen in a very long time, and I'm really drunk because everybody just bought me rounds of drinks.
Very good. So it is at this time that I guess it would be Blovin. Blovin, your phone rings. Ring,
My
ring.
what?
Your phone rings.
What is Blovin's ringtone?
That's a great question. What would be Bluffin's ringtone? I don't know.
old
Under the Sea,
frog
Little Mermaid.
videos. Oh, what was he called?
Yeah. Something like that.
But sung in the voice of Kermit the Frog.
Right.
Blovin
Wait,
recorded
what's the song?
his own. Oh god. Does Blovin play an instrument?
I could see him being a whistler, but not a formal instrument player.
Okay, that's very good. Alright. So, Blovin, you get a call. Do you answer it?
I do. I would normally, so I will.
Okay. So it is a call. It's coming from
Inside the house.
From the university. It's coming from the university, and it is Professor Pooty.
I answer, hello, Bluffin residents.
Love and residence? Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. So.
Oh my goodness, that's definitely my ringtone right there.
Yes!
Singing frog.
Okay. It is Professor Mel Pooty, and she wants to ask you guys to do a job for her. I suppose I should have
Seems
probably continued that by
trustworthy. Go
saying what
on.
the job was. What did
I'm
you say?
not getting eaten at the end of the job.
I said, seems trustworthy. Go on.
Okay. The job that she wants help with is in that temple, she had found records about a vault that contained objects of immense value to the people who worked at that temple, and it would be the find of her career. It could make her like maybe not galactically renowned, but like it would be the biggest possible improvement to her career if she could retrieve those articles, or at least like find them and get proof of them, and like be the person to write the essay about them, kind of thing.
I'm gonna say 1 second, Mel. Let me just put you on speaker here so that my group can hear you as well, and then I'm gonna just sort of like wave everybody over.
Okay. Yeah, she repeats the same thing, and she says that she would like to hire you guys to take her down to Tridley Prime, which is the planet that moon was orbiting around, and follow the help her decipher these like cryptic clues, essentially, that they found in the writings of these monks, that would lead her towards this this vault, this like vault of buried treasure planet side.
All right, Mel, I got a question for you, and I need you to answer this honestly, okay?
Okay.
Complete honesty?
Complete honesty.
Is this going to cause more demons to exist, or is it going to help make sure that demons don't exist?
I will, to my knowledge, this is going to be demonically neutral. This
I look over at Ruda for Ruda's assessment.
Ruda doesn't trust Mel as far as he can throw her.
Okay, I
He's
should
also-
note I'm willing to pay.
And like maybe the shrouded lady talked to. Maybe this is like a scheme.
Ruda, just to confirm, you said that you think this is a scam?
It might be a scheme, a con.
Oh, okay. Would you be able to tell us what's happened to you since we last saw you, Mel?
But she spent. Hold on. Okay, I need to establish an amount of time that has passed. Can we say it has been 2 days? I feel like that's an appropriate amount of time for narratively us to get here. Does that feel right to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. So, she spent a day in the hospital and underwent a psychiatric evaluation that she did not completely, I would say, pass. And so part one of this this job is going to be breaking her out of the hospital.
This is actually something that I feel
wanted to break
Blovin might be
somebody out of the
uniquely
hospital.
equipped to
I'm
do.
in.
Yeah, Blovin would actually be good at this, I think. He would know for multiple reasons why people would go to the hospital, how to tell them the things to get them out of the hospital. Like, he could basically just help Mel in this case. But I don't know that he wants to, so that's a different question.
Okay. She is going to offer you a very large sum of money.
I'm in.
Yeah, so a lot of this money she is backing out of her own account and like straight out of her bank account. And a lot of this money is coming from the university, because it would be very good for her and very good for the university if they could find this, if they could be the ones to find this vault.
I feel like it would be relevant for me to ask a question related to the Shrouded Woman. Can I ask such a question?
Yes.
Who is the Shrouded Woman?
Okay, so Mel says the Shrouded Woman was She was my informant who gave me access to some restricted documents and books and stuff that helped forward my research, and she was the one that helped me find the temple that I ultimately, the temple that you found me in.
How can you trust her?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I did because she gave me information that I wanted.
How much does Mel know about the Shrouded Woman?
Extremely little. She basically thinks, okay, Mel thought that she was very clever in okay, here's how I'm going to put this. I think that Mel thought that she had gotten the better of the Shrouded Woman and like tricked this information out of her.
Aveline's just gonna like yell out over the phone like, as a former college student, I just have to say you are without a doubt the worst university professor I have ever come into contact with. You didn't even check your
Wow.
sources when it came to this woman? Pathetic.
Wow. She just Yelp reviewed your ass.
As a person who has been exposed to many university professors, I have to say that's a very impressive statement. That bar is set very high. Okay, so she's gonna say, look, I really, really messed up there, but with your help, you can help me to make sure that nothing bad comes out of this.
So what's the consequences if we don't help you?
If you don't help, then you wouldn't get the extra money from her, and you would never get to know what was in that vault.
And Bryn would have to write a new document.
No, actually, no. It would make a lot of sense for you guys to not take this, so I'm prepared for that.
I will leave it up to my crew members to decide.
I'm willing to do it just because I feel like if we don't, more college students are going to die, and Aveline is very against that.
Roy wants more information always, so he's down.
Yeah, that's a very good point. If you guys don't do this, she will almost certainly find somebody else to do it.
I am down, but we're gonna keep a really, really short, like, we're gonna make sure we keep her close and
Okay.
watching her at all times.
Okay. So,
So does it feel like we are willing to trust her, but at, kind of an arm's length?
Yeah.
And I think I got the impression that it's more that you're willing to take her money.
Yeah, that too.
It's kind of a money.
Okay. So, everybody hops on board and flies back down to the moon?
Yep.
Okay, let's pick one of these buildings to be the hospital. This one. It's big. Okay. So, we're not going to spend terribly long on this section, because there's a part that I want to get to tonight. So, Blovin. I don't have Blovin on this map. Let me go grab a Blovin.
Blovin's there. Blovin's in between Mate and Roy.
Mate and Roy.
Son of a bitch, he blends perfectly into the
We
background.
got multiple Blovins. Oh my god, they're a twin. This is the other space campaign all over again.
Okay, so, so Blovin, I want you to make I think it's either education or do we have deception? Okay, either make an education, guile, or diplomacy check to get Mel Pooty out of this this place.
Oh, Yeah, I feel like it would be probably Guile would be the most appropriate if that seems fair to you. So I'll roll
Sure.
for that.
All right, what did you get?
I definitely feel like
11?
Roy would have been one of the people encouraging this course of action. Like, I just want the information, just want the data.
So basically,
You cut out there.
I didn't catch what Roy said.
Oh damn! I guess we're all cutting out.
No, I heard you, Roy. I think that it's I think Jeff is missing some chatter on our side. But go on.
Go on, me?
Yes.
Oh, I was just saying that I was gonna try to tell her sort of the right things to say in order to get people to believe that she's, psychiatrically competent and not a threat to anybody and can be released.
Perfect. Okay, then with an 11 and with your experience, then I think that you are certainly able to do that. Yeah. So I think that Professor Pooty gets out and you guys are there to pick her up when she leaves. Okay. So let's see. She is going to so she's going to urge you guys to rush back to the ship, and she will she'll like lay all the information out on the ship. Is that okay?
One not sidebar proper comment, but one sidebar to the other players, not Bryn. Were some of your reservations, Mate and Ruda, ever brought to my attention? Or not Ruda, sorry, Roy. I know you were exchanging some emails. She's lying. Did I ever know that?
No, I only ever sent that to Roy, and that was I want to say explicitly about the knowledge that she was giving to him.
Yeah.
and I have my own
Roy
reasons
actually
for sending that to Roy.
Roy responded. I think I was muted when I said I was responded though. But Roy responded with, "They all lie, even when telling the truth."
Oh no, I wanted you to get more out of that, Roy. Not
Roy's
just hate
just
them
like
all.
typical organic, always a liar.
Mate, I want to know how you feel about taking this assignment.
Yeah, I was actually hard pressed to vote against with the group, but once everyone else voted, I'm going along because I want to make sure that whatever knowledge we get, we can retain. I don't want anyone else to get it.
I was going to say, I think that when I was thinking about this, I was thinking that that is the strongest argument for you guys to go if you if you did not want her to get access to this information. There's still a very strong argument for you guys going, if only to make sure that nobody else does.
Yeah, my thing is to get it, to contain it, do what we need with it, and destroy it. I'm also, I guess I'm saying concerned, but like as Mate, I'm very concerned that the university is still letting her practice. I thought that she had lost her license or her tenure or whatever.
Can I be honest? I completely forgot about that.
Okay, because I'm like,
So did the
I almost was like,
university
I don't want to do this because I'm like,
I
the
said
school
the
didn't, the
university.
school just let you keep working. I'm about to take you to jail again.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up with another.
Yeah, if thematically it makes sense that like she's doing this off the books, I guess that's cool.
I think she's doing this off the books. I think that she has
How
I
about
think
she got a special grant from the university to continue on in a limited capacity?
Yeah, because they would have access to tools and stuff that she wouldn't have on her own. And if the dean's her best friend, sure.
Okay, here's what it is. She is not going to say where she got the money from, just that she has a lot of money to offer you guys for doing this job.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, well, you guys can research where she's getting the money if you want. So you guys take her back to the ship and start heading planet side?
I would say so. Yeah, and if no one else has any objections with that.
Onward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
The quarry has changed, but the path remains the same.
So, she gets onto Heaven's ship, which is the Golganta. Is that what it's called?
Galanga.
Galanga. I am really impressed how close I got with that. Okay, so as you guys are on your ship, she starts laying out what she knows about this vault. She includes some passages that describe its appearance, and it has this like blue like crystalline kind of facade to it, and it is like a giant sealed gate. It is buried deep inside of a cave complex, which is located behind a waterfall that rolls down from this very famous mountain on Tridley Prime. Here's the complicating factor here. The information that she received actually could be pretty easily followed, like just like a map straight to the vault location. The problem is that the mountain, which this waterfall is supposed to be located on, is made up of one of the prominent cities in Tridley Prime is located on the side of this mountain, covering the area that this waterfall probably once was. So you guys need to find a way to find a waterfall that used to be there before a city was built on top of it.
Cool. Who in the party has a divining rod?
Okay, so with that as the starting point, can I just start moving us over to Tridley Prime City?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Okay. I want you to know I am stupidly happy with this city design. This is one of my favorite cities we've ever had. Okay. So this is our city on Tridley Prime. It is built on the peak of a mountain. Now, this is not pictured, but the whole like mountain range is this like sprawling, loose suburban metropolis, and it is very Mediterranean in like building design and city infrastructure and stuff like that, and it is overflowing with water and plants. It's extremely gorgeous. I actually have some pictures that I came up with for reference to help you guys get a feel for what this city looks like as you get boots on the ground. But while I'm thinking of it, there's a small thing that I need to deal with before I can show you those. So we have the Galanga. Oops, I dropped that in the GM layer. Token layer? Okay. So we have the Galanga here. The Galanga is coming down from orbit. You guys are coming into the spaceport. We established Aveline's spaceship does not fit inside the Galanga, so Aveline typically flies alongside it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, Aveline is going to be flying here beside it. So the two of you are flying down to the spaceport, which is located at the highest point in this city. You guys see this tree here? The dock to enter the spaceport is on the far side. So this slant right here is like this like opening that you guys would fly into.
Do you want me to roll pilot?
Yes, go ahead and roll pilot. But the reason that you're rolling pilot, actually go ahead and roll on your vehicle. Go ahead and roll maneuvering.
Should I do this as well?
Only the Galanga needs to right now. So
Okay.
what actually happens is you're coming in for a pretty straightforward docking in this city, and as you are flying into the city, you see, here we go.
Oh.
Why did no bonuses get added to that?
Yeah, why indeed? Here, let me roll it on my character sheet instead of the...
Okay.
I'll just roll pilot.
Did I not? Oh, son of a bitch. I never filled in... I could have sworn I filled in a character sheet. Oh, no, you know what it is? The Galanga... I built the Galanga's character sheet into yours. Okay. Perfect. So that, and then it's like +2 or 3 on top of that. So what happens is, Emil, while you're flying in, you get a little notification flashing up on your like heads-up display, and it says like new message. It's a text message. It's not usually what like air traffic control would send. You open it up.
By the way, who's my co-pilot? Who wants to be my co-pilot?
Blovin will help.
Okay, I'm actually going to, because it's going to pop up on my like heads-up display. I'm just going to shoot it over to like, because I'm like doing fine maneuvering.
Sure.
I'm going to shoot it over to Blovin, and I'm like, hey Blovin, can you check this out for me?
Okay, Blovin. You open it up, and it's a series of messages, so they're actually coming in as you are reading them. And the first one says, hey there, smiley face. I'm really sorry about this. Nothing personal, smiley face. And then you guys, Emil, as soon as he reads that, you catch the flash of a rocket flying from somewhere in the city, flying up towards your ship. But thankfully, you rolled a really good piloting check with your maneuvering. So you successfully roll the Galanga out of the way of the missile, and before a second missile can be fired, you are parked inside of the spaceport.
Shit.
Good shit.
Spilled
Well
my
then.
drink.
I'm also going to like, I think that I've probably given the rundown to like everybody on the ship, but everybody knows that there are 4 Gatling guns on the ship that can be like entered. So like probably typically Blovin is going to be my co-pilot, but like whenever anything bad happens, I smash the red alert button, and that lets everybody know that they can get on a Gatling gun.
Okay, perfect. I really like that. So thankfully, that was not necessary this time because you guys were able to park. You are probably not in view of any more rockets, but do you want to do anything before you disembark?
Who was the author to those messages?
It was anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah, it was anonymous. The hacker group.
Did Aveline make it in safely? Because if Aveline didn't, we're going to like take the Galanga out to provide cover fire.
No, I think that Aveline was not being shot at, so
Okay.
Aveline did make it in safely as well.
All right, cool.
Probably jumps out of her ship like, what the hell was that?
I'm gonna recommend to Emil. I think we need a new paint job.
I'm gonna be like, not again. That's the 5th one this month.
Okay, so
I'm going to ask. Actually, I'm thinking because this spaceport, our ships are going to be pretty exposed. Let's go and like hire a security mech, and the security mech will just guard the ships.
okay. Do you guys want to ask one of the other groups from the Gemini to do that? They would be somebody that you know you can trust.
The Wombats?
You know what? Let's say that the Wombats just got back from their mission shortly before you guys left, so you do know that they are available.
I was thinking about just like, would there just be like robots? I'm not talking about sentient. I'm just talking about like a drone that flies around the ship and shoots anything that tries to fuck with it.
My problem with that is that you guys are in a public spaceport,
Yeah.
and that would not go well.
Why?
Because it would like shoot some poor dude who's just trying to refuel his ship.
It's got AI. It knows what. Okay, fair.
No, I've explicitly established that the AI in this world is like fairly weak. Especially at like sophisticated decision making. What I think that probably having the Wombats come down makes the most sense.
We could just have one of the wombats comes down.
Yeah, a Wombat.
So you guys want to go for? So we have Gemini Cruise, the Wombats. We have their leader, Caden. We have Brad, who is Ruda's workout buddy. We have Dirk, who's the mage. We have Mesa, who's the machinist. Is Mesa the one that had the big... No, Liko is the one that has the big Gatling gun and is dating Emma.
Workout buddy.
Oh shit, you're right. Liko is your workout buddy. Maybe Brad is just Brad.
Brad is the guy. Brad must be the guy with the big gun. That robot looks the guy.
No, Mesa's the one that had the pet robots.
Messa's also Amil's like love interest.
That's true. Do you want to ask Mesa to come down and help?
Amil is nervous. Let's ask Ruda's workout buddy.
Okay. I think Aveline probably is fairly close with Liko as well because of her relationship with Otema. And Liko is, more than anyone else on this crew, Liko is a huge bro, and she's absolutely down to help a bro anytime. So, yeah, Liko comes down and she will spot your ship for you for a few days. Okay.
Did she call it spotting you?
Yeah, she says that she'll spot you.
Gotta get these gains.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys get off the ship, and Professor Pooty has a few ideas of where you guys could start when looking for when looking for this underwater or this waterfall that's buried under the city. It might not even be a waterfall anymore because a city was built on top of it. So it might just be like a cave that's like buried underground or something now. So one option, let me pull up my notes here. Okay. So first, you could check like public records for who either the blueprints of the city, like, or like the city construction plans, or maybe try to find an architect who worked on that team. The other option is, since the records that she was reading were from an Aelfin society, it's possible that the Aelfin embassy in this city would have, they might have some historical, cultural knowledge of this place. The other thing is that it's always a good idea to just ask gangs, because gangs have a tendency to just know a lot of stuff. I think Mel Pooty probably doesn't suggest that, but I think that you guys know that that if you're looking for something that is hidden underground, the underground often is aware of it.
Yeah, I'm down with checking the underground. They'll probably be interested in my sick tattoos, and they'll be willing to talk to us.
So, sort of an important question as we think about this particular dilemma is, who the fuck was shooting at us?
That is a good question.
We just totally forgot about that.
The gangs will probably also know.
Okay, so
Also, could we tell where they were shooting? Like, what sector of the city were the rockets like coming from?
I think that you probably have to kind of like obviously you were not watching for that to happen until after it had already started coming towards you, but kind of just trying to remember what you saw out of your peripheral vision a few minutes ago. You think that it was coming out of the condo skyrises.
Maybe we should go to like a watering hole near the condo skyrises and check the local gossip. Because this town doesn't give me the vibes that there are rockets being fired often.
No, it's a pretty bougie town.
Yeah.
Oh, Brent, one other question. Given that I'm a Nautilin and I'm well versed in sources of water, are there any irregularities from sort of a bird's eye view as we were approaching the city, or that I can see once I actually am on the ground? Are there any irregularities as far as where water would be flowing in what seems like an odd way?
So this town has, as you can see from the map, it has a series of waterfalls running through it, troughs and stuff like that. This is, you guys are pretty close to the top of the mountain, and you just would not get this much water like falling like this. Almost certainly they have a pump that is pumping water from up from down below to the top of the mountain, and then having it run down the the little canals of the city from there.
So that feels like it would be unnatural in design.
Yeah. Okay, so I had some art that I collected that I felt like was really good kind of aesthetic inspiration of what this city looks like, because I really want you guys to get a good idea of what this city feels like to walk through it. So I'm moving these to the token layer. So if you guys look in the upper right half of the map now, I put down 3 different images. So there's lots of these like canals and waterways, and you have some like gondolas that are paddling around down the waterways. Almost all of the buildings have trees growing out of their roofs or along the sides. There's a lot of greenery in this town. And there's a lot of color as well. There's a lot of colorful umbrellas outside of restaurants and stuff like that. And it's an incredibly vertical city. There's lots and lots of stairs, and almost like I think that there are no roads or no cars. It's entirely foot traffic and public transportation through gondolas or bicycle lanes. And like I said, this incredibly cozy, Mediterranean, Western European cottage style architecture. It's just an overwhelmingly beautiful city. Yeah, it's very much not the vibe that you often associate with dense urban areas. But the way that this city works is the city itself is not horribly dense. Instead, it's more broad. So this kind of aesthetic that you see here is spread out over multiple peaks of this mountain range. So it goes on for miles. But the peak that you guys just landed at is the peak in question. So
it's like Venice meets Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza? Is that the South American town?
Oh, sorry, Machu Picchu. Excuse me.
Machu Picchu.
Machu
Right.
Picchu. My bad.
Okay.
They're both.
Yeah. Why not both?
Okay. So these are all gorgeous. I'm going to move these off to the side just because they're big and covering up the map. But if anybody wants me to pull them back out so you can see those pictures again, just let me know.
Could you throw them into the art channel? I really love them.
Yeah, I think I can. Okay, art channel. So first I'll drop down the map because I also think that the map is one of the prettiest pictures I've ever seen.
Oh, it's fantastic.
This
town is so cool.
So we have.
Hey, Brayden, can we actually print that out and put it in our games?
I would be into that.
Yeah.
Especially because Lindsay has poster paper.
Hell
yeah. Street View 1, Street View 2. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, here we go. Street View 3.
Brayden, we can put it next to our other solar punk poster.
Yes. Okay. Yes, this is my solar punk town, and it's very self-indulgent. Okay, so you guys can read all of the sections of this town by just reading the labels that I put down. So you guys talked about wanting to find a local watering hole. There is an entertainment district, which it's where you have a lot of the restaurants and movie cinemas and bars and stuff like that are located in the entertainment area close to the sky rises because people want to have restaurants and stuff close to home. Yeah, so is that where you guys want to start?
I thought we were trying to find an underworld gang.
Well, you've got three different options. You can look for some local gangs. You can look for the Aelfin embassy, or you can look for or you could look for government documents.
Aveline wanted a gang relationship, right?
I just think that they might be into listening to me because of my appearance, but I don't know if that's concrete.
That feels fair.
Good reason as any. So do you guys want to start by going to a bar?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that works.
I think between Ruta and Aveline, we got the underworld covered.
Let me just check my notes real fast to make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
It is about to hit 5 though, so I'm going to.
Oh, it is going on 5, isn't it?
Yeah. This is probably a pretty good place.
Can you set the stage for the bar if possible, and then we wrap there?
Sure, absolutely. This is actually a great way for me to end it. Okay, so I'm going to push that a little further off to the side, and then I'm gonna go to the GM layer. Make this a little bit bigger, and token layer. And go back here. So, you guys all head into this bar. It's it matches the aesthetic of the town around it. It's very cozy and rustic and like almost artificially cozy. So there's a few like bougie patrons in here who are just kind of hanging out and having drinks. There's also a few rough-looking customers off in the corner, and there's also one guy sitting in the far corner having a drink who is decidedly like he's like dressed like a samurai. He looks like he is built for combat, and he also looks just like very out of place, kind of. So
if he was in Scooby-Doo, he would have been drawn differently, so we know that he's the thing we should be focusing on.
Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna drop in some I'll drop in some patrons in the bar for next time. But as you walk in, one of the seedy customers who I had commented on earlier looks over and he says, "Holy shit, boss! They came to us!" And I think that's where we'll end the game.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
boss! They came to us.
Because that's what you want to hear when you walk into a bar.
It's a trap.
Yeah, no, that's a very good jumping off point. This is going to be a good next game.
Yeah, perfect.
Click, and everybody flip horizontal. Okay. The one who's saying "Holy shit, boss" is also the one who's pointing at you.
Of course.
Let me see. What if I did send him to the back so he's out of the way? And he's still kind of in the way. Okay. So, yeah, so that's where we'll pick it up next time, and I think that'll be a fun game to walk in on. Okay. How did everyone like this game?
Went well.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
real cool. Lots of
Okay.
good narrative chunks.
Good. I had a lot of fun DMing it, and I'm really looking forward to the last part of this this chapter. So I guess that's all. I'm looking forward to hearing our recording after all of this, Mikhail.
Yeah. I'm hoping that nothing went weird when we went into our sidebar, so I'll be checking that in a bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Cool.
See you guys.
Catch y'all next
Bye.
week.
See ya.
See ya.